This is Watch Fox Sports Zone. More sports coverage than anyone else in the Midlands. Watch Fox Sports Zone, sponsored by Lexington Medical Center, starts right now.
Welcome into Sports Zone, everyone. I'm Sports Director Matt Dowell. Happy Wednesday to you. And we've got a special guest on our show tonight. South Carolina softball head coach Ashley Chastain Woodard is with me in studio tonight as the Gamecocks season opener is tomorrow. The season is already here. Ashley, it's so nice to meet you, first of all, and thank you so much for coming on our show tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. It's really great to be in the studio and talk about the team. And obviously on the season opening eve, it's, kind of like Christmas for us tomorrow. So really excited to talk about the season.
We're so excited for a new season of South Carolina softball. But obviously, Columbia's not new to you. Mm-hmm. You are an alum of South Carolina, pitched for 3 seasons for the Gamecocks. How is life in Columbia in this chapter of your life compared to the college era?
It's different. It's definitely different coming back, many years later. But I've told people some things are exactly the same, and then other parts of the city have changed and campus has changed. So it's been very nostalgic for me, and just kind of reacquainting myself with old spots that I used to love, and just kind of getting around the city has been really fun. But it's been awesome. It's been an awesome journey so far, and everyone's been really welcoming to me since the summer, which I really appreciate.
That's awesome. I know during your introductory press conference you got caught behind the train, which is always a nice welcome back to Columbia. We've all been there. So
that has not changed. It's like we're the only city in America that you get caught with a train in the middle of the day in the middle of the city. So I was like, oh yeah, I remember these days.
been late to many a thing because of that train.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of coaching, obviously coaching at any D1 level is a huge responsibility, a huge honor. But what is it like coaching your alma mater? Because you wore the South Carolina logo as a player, and now you get to wear it as the leader of this team.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. I think I've said all along it's a dream come true. As a coach, and you think about your career and really where you want to end up, this is the pinnacle of really my career and where I wanted to be, and it's really cool to be back and leading it. I think it'll be one of the greatest honors of my life, when it's all said and done. So it's just amazing, and I'm excited to lead the program and really excited to see the team compete. We practiced for so long and so many months, and so now that we're on the eve of that, it just brings a lot of emotions to me.
SEC softball is no joke. It's the cream of the crop. Mm-hmm. How different is it coaching an SEC program compared to your past teams?
Yeah, it's different. The competition is elite. You have to be the best in every area. So for me, it was really great because I was able to bring a lot of staff with me from my previous stop, and so there's a lot of trust and loyalty that's already built within the staff. And so, we take our systems and our processes and we evaluate them and we bring them into a place like South Carolina to make sure that we're doing things at an elite level to compete in the SEC. So we love competition, we love tough competition, so we're really excited about it. We have many games before we get into SEC play, so we're kind of just focused on the present and these next couple weeks of learning and growing as a team here in the early weeks. But SEC weekends are what we live for. So once we get to the warm days in the spring, those weekends will be really great.
You come to South Carolina to coach them after 5 years at Charlotte. Mm-hmm. What were your biggest lessons learned up in the 704?
Man, I don't know if we have time to talk about everything I learned. That was my first stop being a head coach, and my first season there was the COVID season. Mm-hmm. And so, when you go through that kind of adversity, it changes your perspective on really what's important, and how you really want to mentor the people that you influence and the people that you coach. So many lessons. We built the team from the beginning and then had a lot of success there the last couple of years. And so really stay the course. Your work is going to pay off. Believe in the people around you and really empower them to do a great job. Details matter. The way you train matters. Everything that we do, every decision that we make really goes into a holistic view of us winning games and winning championships. And, just bringing all of those lessons in those years that will stay with me forever as a coach, and bringing those here. And then obviously creating a new story here and a new journey is really exciting for everyone involved.
I know in every sport this season, one of the big questions being asked is Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC. Obviously, they are powerhouses in softball. Every SEC program is. But when you think about Oklahoma and Texas, how does that change the landscape of SEC softball, and how does that challenge everybody?
just makes it even tougher.
Yeah.
You know, Texas and Oklahoma are preseason at the top of, you know, the national rankings and our conference. So just adding it in made it that much tougher for everybody. You know, it's more competition, more opponents that you really have to consider, and more people to recruit against. You know, that's a whole element of what we do constantly throughout the year. 12 months of the year, we recruit all the time, you know, for the future. And so you add those programs into the league, and then all of a sudden, you know, makes recruiting that much harder. So it's great. I think it elevates the game. You know, the game is in a really great place. It's growing. It's getting better across the board, and adding someone like Texas and Oklahoma into the conference, it elevates everybody. So, you know, I think it's really good for the sport.
Excited to see how it all plays out. But like you said, long way to go before SEC
Yes.
play. We're going to start with tomorrow, and that is the Gamecock Invitational. I'm always so interested in the preparation process for you guys as coaches and as teams. You have 4 different teams coming to Columbia to take part in this. How do you prepare for all 4, and how do you make sure that your team is ready to go? Because softball moves so fast.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time to really think and evaluate, you know, the game from game, because we play multiple games a day here these first couple weeks. So the kids have to have a short memory. We have to move fast. We have to keep them mentally in a really good place and just stay aggressive in the way that we play, which we've been talking a lot about. As far as preparation, our preparation for our opponents started weeks ago. You know, so we got back and started preseason practice on January 6th. And, you know, really at that point, we start diving into our opponents. You know, who are the pitchers that we predict to see from Virginia, you know, the next 2 games? And then who are we going to predict to see from St. Francis? And, you know, what are the offenses predicted to look like? And so that preparation started a long time ago. You know, and then the past couple weeks, we've started to give that information to our team. And, you know, be able to see like who matches up best with the offenses that we're going to face, and, you know, who are the new transfers, because that's a whole element of the game of like, okay, who's now at what school, you know, what is the predicted lineup. We have a lot of information that we invest in as a staff that really helps guide our decisions, and, you know, what does the data tell us about, you know, who we're playing. So it started a long time ago. The team is well prepared. You know, it's not like we started talking about Virginia today. You know, we started talking about them weeks ago. We've already talked about St. Francis and Providence and East Carolina, you know, but we do try to stay week to week. So we've talked about all our opponents for this first weekend, and, you know, and then when we hit next Tuesday, because Monday is usually our off day, you know, for them to focus on their school and just recovery and different things. And so then we'll start preparing for all the opponents next week. Tuesday practice, you know, we simulate practice for the pitchers that we're going to see, and, you know, the type of speed that we're going to face, and all those kind of things. So it's all very well thought out. And, you know, the kids do feel very prepared once the first pitch is thrown. At that point, it's just, let's go play the game.
Yeah. Well, first up tomorrow is Virginia. What can you tell us about the Cavaliers and what they bring to the table tomorrow?
Yeah, they've progressively gotten better the past couple years. They're returning a few arms that are elite and have good stuff. So I think the game will come down to pitching, probably on both sides. And for us, we want to build the program around really good pitching and just really good defense. You know, that's foundational for us. Like, we want to be able to pitch and play defense every time we hit the field. You know, we believe that gives us a chance to beat any opponent that we play, you know, and then let the offense work. You know, there's a lot of uncontrollables on that side of the ball. And so, yeah, it'll be a pitching duel. I think we've got a couple arms ready to showcase, and then same on their end. So, you know, they're returning some good talent in the circle, and we're starting, you know, to obviously already started to prepare for those. But I do think, you know, that's what we're expecting from them.
Excited for this matchup tomorrow. And I know with South Carolina softball, there's been so many great players over the years. And I know that every player on your roster plays a pivotal role. But are there any players that you're really excited for fans to see this season?
Oh, yeah. Really excited about Carly Shelton. Carly was a freshman last year. It was kind of in and out of the lineup, in and out of a starting role throughout the year. Carly is someone that from day one has just worked so hard. And she's just kind of that like ball player. She's always at the yard. Like if you show up, she's either in the cages or at second. You know, really excited for her sophomore campaign. I think it's going to be a big year for her. I think she's going to be a pivotal part of our offense. And she's really good at second base and has really learned to play the position at an elite level through the off season. Really excited for Brooke Blankenship, our shortstop. You know, she's always been a true shortstop, a defense one type of player, and we've really worked on developing her offensive side of the game. So those guys will be in the middle. You'll see them in the middle consistently. You know, we've put our stamp on those guys, and Really excited about Ari Rhodey. Had a really fantastic sophomore All-American type of season with us at Charlotte last year, and then came down with us here to compete her last half of her career at Carolina. And just really excited about the power she brings, and building the offense around her in the middle of the order, and just really excited for her to not carry the weight of our offense on her shoulders, but really to be able to have success at this level. And really excited about Sam Gress. This is her senior campaign. Sam has competed at several different schools. She has great veteran experience at this point, and she is a fierce competitor. She's who you want in the circle in big moments, leverage moments. The team gets really behind her, has a lot of trust in her, and she is easy to get behind. I think the fans will really attach themselves to her and just how fierce she competes in the game. Jory Hurd is a returning pitcher that's been at Carolina her whole career and progressively gotten better every year, and I think she's better now than she's ever been. So really excited to see her compete. And like Sam, Jory is somebody that we want in big moments, high leverage moments. So I'm really excited about the roster top to bottom. I mean, I could talk about all of them. They're fantastic, and we've had just so much joy getting to know all of them and just really putting the team together from a chemistry standpoint and all the intangibles that it takes to be successful on the field outside of just talent alone. And that's been a really joyous part for me, is just see them come together and the relationships that they've built.
We're so excited to see all of them play together and really build what's hoping to be a great season. And when you think about the first year, when there is a change in a program, a first-year head coach, expectations kind of vary between people on the outside, fans, experts, even on your end. What are the goals for your team this season?
We want to be a lot better in conference, and we've talked as a program of just focusing internally on what we know we can do and who we are, and almost drowning out some of the outside noise of the preseason expectations from the outside. And those are things for me to worry about, for the staff to worry about. We really want the team to focus on who they are and just playing the game the way that they know they can, the way that we prepare them, and kind of tuning out the noise a little bit. Preseason expectations are, sometimes they mean a lot, sometimes they don't. They're not always a predictor of what the season is going to be like across the board for the conference. So the expectation is to be a lot better in conference and to give ourselves a chance to compete. And we would love to host a regional. We're in a really great conference, and if we do well in our conference play, then we set ourselves up to be a top 16 pick, at selection, which means that we're hosting regionals. And we have a great venue, we have great fans, and we want to bring NCAA postseason here to Columbia, and for people to get really excited about softball, and for those tickets to be hard to find. That's the goal, is to fill the stadium with people that are really excited about what's on the field and have gotten really behind us all spring.
South Carolina softball opening up against Virginia tomorrow. Before you go, is there anything else you'd like to add about your team, about this upcoming season? I'll give the floor to you.
Yeah, just give us a chance. Come to Beckham. The weather is going to be fantastic this weekend, which is not always the case on opening weekend for softball season. So we're really looking forward to that. That's a little hint of the spring for you. But we'd love to see it at Beckham Field. We're going to put a great product on the field that's really fun to watch. And the game is really fast, really exciting. So if you're not a softball fan, we'd love for you to become one. And if you are a fan, we're excited to see you.
Awesome. Well, Ashley, we thank you so much for coming on Sports Zone tonight. South Carolina softball opens up their season tomorrow against Virginia. We're going to be there for it, so come back tomorrow night. We'll have a full recap of the Gamecocks against the Cavaliers. Ashley, thank you so much for coming on Sports Zone. We really appreciate it, and we're so excited for this upcoming season.
Thank you so much.